With an introduction like that, this had better be good. Hare Krishna. I want to say one thing before I begin, that in all of the 42 years of my experience at traveling and preaching and being in so many different environments, Krishna conscious environments, even Govardhan, there's no more ecstatic atmosphere than ISV. Don't think I'm just saying that. It's actually a fact. So I want to treat you to something very highly esoteric. I want to capture your imagination and give you something to visualize, to see the spiritual world. You know, Radha and Govinda, there's a place in the spiritual world where they sit. Do you know that? Yes, it's called the Yoga Pit. In Brajaloka, there's a place called the Yoga Pit. It is the most secret of all secret places. And in the Vedic scriptures, which is an ocean of literature, you can fit the Vedas in this room. It's so vast. And contained within the vast numbers of shlokas that comprise the Vedas, there's very few that describe these confidential places in the spiritual world, but they're there. They're there. And the great souls, the Goswamis of Vrindavan, the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the great rishis and saints, they have mined these gems from the voluminous pages of the Vedas. My best friend is Vaisesika Prabhu, by my good fortune. My second best friend is His Holiness Shivaram Swami Maharaj. And he compiled a literature in which he researched all of the esoteric parts of all the Vedic literatures and wove them together in such a way as to give us a window into the most confidential places of the spiritual world. So here we are in Silicon Valley, California, a long way from Govardhan, a long way from the Yoga Pit. But I want to share this with you, and I don't care if there's a lot of, disturbance around. Just try to concentrate your mind on this. I edited this book, so I'm familiar with it, quite familiar. Now, let us hear about the uppercut Yoga Pit, also called Govinda Stali, the place of Lord Govinda, because it is his favorite abode and it is not different from his transcendental body. This is the nature of the spiritual world. All of these forms in the spiritual world are conscious, are spiritual. This is what makes the spiritual world different than the material world. In the material world, there is matter and there is spirit. Therefore, there's duality. When we pass on, we leave the material body behind, a shell that they have to immediately cremate or bury or do something with because it is full of things that can contaminate the atmosphere. But in the spiritual world, the forms are spiritual. There's no matter. There's no material energy. Therefore, the the land itself, the buildings themselves, all the different everything is spiritual. So this Govindastali is non-different than Krishna's transcendental body. The sacred Vedas call the area comprising the temple and desire tree the Yogapith, or Antak Puri, the inner residence. We refer to it as simply Krishna's playground, Keli Nikunja. The Yogapith's form is reminiscent of Krishna's face, its fragrance of his bodily aroma, its resonance, his voice, and its ambiance, his heart. In short, it reminds one of Govinda's transcendental personality. The Yogapith stands as a mountainous island upon the summit of Vrindavan, rising out of the waters of the Jamuna like the back of a turtle whose shell is marked with the petals of a lotus. These petals expand beyond the Jamuna and throughout Braj. In total, they number 1,000, each housing a prominent grove that plays host to its own variety of Krishna's youthful pastimes. In other words, the whole spiritual world expands from the Yogapith. At the very center of that lotus is the king of desire trees. At times, it appears to be wood, leaves, and flowers. At other times, it appears to be valuable gems. And at still others, it appears in both ways at once. This tree appeared in the material world just before the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His name, Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri is the desire tree that stands at the center of the Yogapith, under which Radha and Krishna have their singhasan, their sitting place, their eternal sitting place. And it was Madhavendra Puri who first manifested full-blown love for Krishna in the spontaneous Madhurya Ras. From the branches of this tree hang equally incomprehensible desire vines, golden, black, or green in color, upon which blossom by their own will every conceivable type of flower, even those made of jewels. The grove thus formed, like Govinda, is unfathomable even to the most purified sages. It is the emperor of all the groves and gardens of Vrindavan. And so it is called Sri Kunjaraj. Indeed, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, this abode of Sri Radha and Krishna is called Govinda Bhumi in the Puranas and Yogapith in the Tantras. In this book, Vrajariti Chintamani, we call it Sri Kunjaraj, the king of the Kunjas. You know, one of Krishna's names is Kunja Bihari, the enjoyer of the Kunjas. Vrindavan is formed with unlimited numbers of kunjas, of forest groves, made of these inconceivably opulent Chintamani gems. A golden temple rests in the shelter of this grove. Its ornately carved pillars, arches, and domes set with gems that glow with numinous splendor by day and soothing radiance at night. The temple appears always medium in size, but it has many adjoining wings of various dimension, each made up of a lotus-shaped courtyard with a whorl and 8 petals containing a central fountain. The temple stands upon an ornate quadrangular platform with staircases on all 4 sides made of the finest translucent marble, which, incredible as it may sound, feels as soft as butter to the touch. You know, here in the material world, marble, they build in hot climates because it's cool and hard. But in the spiritual world, it's cool, it's warm, it's hard, and it's fragrant and soft as butter. Within the central chamber of the temple is a jewel-studded golden throne, Singhasan, the most ornate, beautiful, and beguiling object in the Yogapith or anywhere else in Vrindavan. The throne is shaped like an 8-petaled lotus in flight, with wings made from its own luster. Its front lion legs are raised off the ground, while its hind legs carry the throne's weight, although it is weightless. Seated at the center, like the stamen of that lotus, are Radha and Krishna. Shri Shri Radha Govinda ki jai. Radha Govinda ji stali ki jai. Above them is a soft cloth with the look and feel of a lion skin. This is the heart of the Yugapith and the center of all existence. So for those persons who think that the spiritual world is formless, nothingness, we have this description in the Vedas to enlighten them and all of us as to the nature of the spiritual world. The nature of the spiritual world is unlimitedly personal, unlimitedly sweet, unlimitedly opulent. Now let's hear about the seat upon which Radha and Krishna sit. You know, in all of our gated communities, we have these palatial buildings. We're all hankering, and inside we put this, far out furniture, and we try to make it as impressive as possible. So whenever our friends come in, they'll go, "Oh, look at that. Aren't they wonderful?" Yeah, isn't it? This is why you came to Silicon Valley. To get away from the dusty lanes and come to the gated communities. Well, listen to this seat and let it stimulate your imagination, your meditation, so that you can actually increase your aspiration to go there rather than ISKCON Silicon Valley. Of course, ISKCON Silicon Valley is non-different, and we have Radha Govinda, and soon we'll have a new Singhasan. They're working on it right now. But still, this is the source of it. We should want to go there. When we leave our bodies, we should want to go there. We should want to go to this place. This is the goal of life. The goal of life is not California, land of milk and honey. The goal of life is the Yogapith. The center of all existence. On this seat, Behind the divine couple is a cotton-filled bolster held in place by a lapis lazuli backrest. In front of and just below the seat are footrests graced by the two most attractive pairs of lotus feet. So when people pretend to be meditating on the Brahman, and when you ask them to describe it, and they say there are no words, you can remember this description, because there are words that can describe the spiritual world and bring your minds and your intelligence back to the spiritual world. This is real meditation. This is the purpose of purification of our existence, the purpose of doing our duty properly, the purpose of performing austerities and controlling the mind and senses, of yoga. Therefore it's called the Yoga Peeth, the seat of yoga, the goal of yoga. Radha and Krishna sit upon this throne. They're original, eternally youthful, and alluringly unassuming forms, mesmerizing their friends and each other with elegance, splendor, humor, and love. This divine couple, the absolute truth, source of the predominating Purusha and predominated Prakriti, natures, immersed in the bliss of countless exchanges of spiritual love, are denoted by the syllable cling. Around the base of Radha and Krishna's seat is a hexagonal plinth inscribed with the 6 words of the Gopal Gayatri, signifying that only the followers of the gopis can enter this inner sanctum. 2 seats rest upon each of the 8 petals of the throne, with one of the Ashtashakis sitting on the raised tip of each petal, and her corresponding maidservant, Manjari, sitting on the inner part below. To Krishna's immediate right, you can go to Mayapur and you can see the Ashtashakis with Radha and Madhava. You seen? Yes. To Krishna's immediate right sits Lalita. And beyond her, Chitra, Champankalata, and Tungavidya. To Radha's left are Vishakha, Rangadevi, Sudevi, and Indulekha. These are the Ashtashakis. These are the most confidential girlfriends of Srimati Radharani. Expansions of her body. All the gopis are expansions of Radharani's body to give Krishna unlimited satisfaction by the unlimited moods and unlimited forms and unlimited personalities of the gopis. And following the same order as these most confidential friends, sit their most intimate maidservants, Manjaris, Rupa, Rasa, Guna, Lavanga, Vilas, Kasturi, Manjwali, and Rati, respectively. Devotees who chant the Gopal and Kama Gayatri mantras to gain entrance into this transcendental realm must take shelter of one of these Sakis by becoming the servant of her maidservant, Manjari. Gaudiya Vaishnavas generally yearn to be counted amongst Lalita Saki's group of gopis and trained by Rupa Manjari in the fine arts related to serving Radha and Krishna within the groves of Vrindavan. Therefore, we are called Rupa Nugas. Anuga means follower. Rupa means Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami is, in the spiritual world, Rupa Manjari, the most intimate servant, maidservant of Lalita Saki, Srimati Radharani's closest and most intimate friend. Above the throne, suspended from the ceiling by a silken rope, is an exquisite umbrella with golden filigree, its sparkling diamond rim decorated with a hanging fringe of rubies and moonstone. Even the smallest speck of dust on this throne is more valuable than all the wealth in Vaikuntha. I'll repeat that. Even the smallest speck of dust on the throne is more valuable than all the wealth in Vaikuntha. What to speak of Silicon Valley? Nevertheless, that dust has no value without its relation to Sri Radha and her beloved Shyam Sundar. Dressed in yellow clothing, befitting a cowherd prince, with his unique cloud blue complexion, Krishna rouses the hearts of Radha and her girlfriends who sit surrounding the divine couple. Around Krishna's neck hangs a long garland of sylvan flowers worn with buds of the tulsi plant, woven with buds of the tulsi plant. On his head rests a colorful turban bedecked with jewels, blooms, buds, and a peacock feather. His face, more radiant than millions of moons, is made even more enchanting by rolling, restless lotus eyes, and by ears adorned with yellow flower ornaments and shark-shaped earrings. Elegant tilak, a round spot of sandalwood paste with a dot of kumkum, graces Krishna's forehead. Small curly locks of hair and diamond-like beads of perspiration decorate his brow. Krishna raises his eyebrows playfully, glancing at his beloved, as moonlight smile, sparkling white teeth, flashes through bimba-like lips, suspended by a ring. A single pearl dances beneath his nose. Rings and bracelets ornamenting his hands, his beloved flute in his left, a delicate lotus in the right. Krishna captivates everyone around him with the tinkling of his tiny waist bells and priceless anklets. Try to understand. Everywhere you go in this world, where you see the deity form, the Archa Murti of Radha and Krishna, they all have this form. And the descriptions of this form are coming from the Rasa Shastras, from the Vedas. These are not idols. We're not worshiping stone, or wood, metal. We're worshiping the eternal form of Govinda and Radharani, and the way we dress them, the way they're shaped, the way they're carved, everything is scientifically done, spiritual science. This is the spiritual science of rasa, the spiritual science of how to awaken our transcendental pleasure in the innermost, deepest core of the heart, where the soul resides. rings and bracelet ornamenting his hands, his beloved flute in the left, a delicate lotus in the right. Krishna captivates everyone around him with the tinkling of his tiny waist bells and priceless anklets. Hare Krishna. Shri Radha Govinda ki jai. Shri Govinda Stali ki jai. Shri Yoga Pit ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
So we have a few activities this evening. One of them will be an Abhishekam, which is coming up very soon. We'll check in with Hansa Priya. What time is the Abhishek? 8:30. So there'll be an Abhishek at 8:30. Eight o'clock is a gift-giving ceremony. So those who are giving gifts to Krishna on his birthday, 8 o'clock there'll be a special ceremony. There are desire trees, you'll notice, outside that are lit up, and on them are hanging ornaments. Each one of them have various items that we're going to use to improve this temple, to offer nicer facilities for Radha and Krishna. And so those of you who would like, you can pick one of those fruits off of the tree, and you can write on it what kind of gift you'd like to give to Krishna. And there's a board right out in front that you'll see. There's a list of items that would be very useful for the temple, for Krishna's worship. So you can take a fruit off, write your name, and write the item that you would like to give. And then you can offer it directly to Krishna. And there are jewels, you'll notice, underneath the tree. And each one of those jewels has a benediction on it, a special blessing. So you can pick one of those jewels up also. So that gift-giving ceremony will start at 8 o'clock. For those of you who would like to give gifts to Krishna, you can take a look at the board out there, pick a fruit off the tree, and write on it what you'd like to give to Krishna. And here comes one of the desire trees right now. In Vrindavan, it's described that Chintamani Prakarasat Masu Kalpa Vriksha. So Kalpa Vriksha means a tree that fulfills all of one's desires. And Prahlad Maharaj says in his teachings that Krishna is like a desire tree. Just like a desire tree doesn't consider who is lower or higher or what you're asking for. It simply fulfills your desire. So if you go underneath a desire tree that will fulfill your desires, and you ask, please, I would like a bag of hammers to fall upon my head. If a bag of hammers falls upon your head, whose fault is it? The tree's or mine? My fault. Thank you, Reina. So the success of life is not that coming to the success of life means to refine our desires, to ask for the right thing. So this desire tree means to ask how to give to Krishna. What things we can give to Krishna, and by giving to Krishna, then we grow. We become more whole, complete, and happy. I had a realization of giving when I was in India 2 years ago, visiting Kesava Bharati Goswami at his ashram. Every day we'd set out in the morning at about 5:15 for a walk around Govardhan Hill. That's about 14 miles. We'd walk around, and halfway around we'd stop just when the sun is coming up at the very sacred place called Radhakund. How many have been to Radhakund? Please raise your hand. So in that place, pilgrims come by the millions, especially during special months like Kartik. And they come down to the kund and put on a gamsha and dip into the water for a sacred bath, leave their clothes on the bank of the kund, and then say mantras, meditate, chant, and then come back out, dry off, and then go on their way. So one morning when I was there, I put on a gamcha, I left my clothes just on the bank. I had a pen, I had my notebook that I always carry with me. It has lots of good ideas in it that I pick up wherever I go. I had some rupees in my pocket. And I went into the kund, I sang my Gayatri mantra, and then I turned around and I saw that everything was gone. No clothes, no money, no notebook, no pen, everything gone. I thought maybe a monkey took it. So a few of us looked around and asked the monkeys, "Did you take my stuff?" They said, "Even if we did, we're not telling you." It was nowhere to be found, so I resigned myself. You know how you feel in life when you realize that something valuable is gone, and at first you lament, but then you say, what's done is done, it's gone. I have to move on with my life. So I moved on. I walked home that day, the rest of the 7 miles, just wearing a gamcha. And people looked at the American walking through the Govardhan with just a gamcha on, wondering, what is with this person? But all the way I was thinking, on the way back to the ashram, when I stay at the ashram, I always give a donation before I leave. Out of gratitude, appreciation for all the wonderful services that they've done and support they've given while I'm there. And this time, I was only there at the beginning of the trip. So on the way back, walking with no possessions left, except I had some things back at the ashram, including the donation I was planning to give in a few weeks. And then I thought, I think I'll give it today. Because I realized very acutely that at any moment, whatever I have, whatever I think I have, can just be taken away. Now, if it's taken away, I don't get any credit. But if I give it away, then I get the credit. Now, it's going to be gone either way. So, today is Janmastami. We've made a theme that this festival is about giving. I hope we're not too presumptuous. We're all volunteers. We all give also. We're inviting everyone else to give and see what it feels like. It's going to go away anyway. The IRS, some relative will call and say, you know, Johnny's sick. If you don't help him, nobody else will. You ever get a call like that? You're the only one in the family who has money. You got to give it to Johnny. And then you have to give it to Johnny. It's just gone. It will go. So Janmastami is a day, among other things, a day for giving. Give away what's going to be taken anyway. There's a list now you see on the board. Pick something. It doesn't have to be what's on the board. You can use your imagination, and we're just putting some amounts there just to set some parameters to make it exciting. But give whatever you feel like giving, or volunteer some time. Sign up. There's devotees out there. We'll take your name if you want to come in and do some voluntary service. There's so many projects that we have here at ISKCON Silicon Valley that are going on beyond the boundaries of this temple. We're going out to the universities, and we have regular classes there at Stanford, where we get guest speakers from all over the world who are coming and speaking about Krishna consciousness. And they have regular classes there. At Google, we also have a weekly class where many of the employees are coming and studying the science of Krishna consciousness. We have children's programs where children are learning all about how to play musical instruments. And you'll see one of them right here. He'll stand up and take a bow. This is Vrindavan. Stand up, Vrindavan. Take that mridanga. You can show him a few beats. Go ahead. Use a mridanga. Whatever you like. Show him a few beats. How old are you, Vrindavan? Huh? He's 7 years old. Okay, show him how you play the mridanga. He's never shy, except for right now, a little bit. Now come over here, Vrindavan. Now he's going to recite a verse from the Bhagavad Gita. He knows many verses, but he'll just pick one off the top of his head and he'll recite it for you, because he's not shy at all.
Pumerapo nalo vayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara ityamme vidna prakritirashtada.
So now, if we call in any of the kids from ISV, they'll be able to play harmonium, the madanga, they'll recite for you any verse you want from the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. We have this Vedic Academy. They're learning Sanskrit, they're learning Vedic mathematics, and they're learning values also. And we have cooking programs here, and we have Bhagavad Gita classes regularly here. So there are many things that are going on here at ISV you can volunteer for. And this is a worthy cause to increase the spread of Krishna consciousness. We're here as volunteers to make sure that the knowledge of Krishna consciousness goes out to people all over the world. You may notice in the corner of the temple room, if you can't see it from here, I'll just describe what it is. It's a banner which tells about a program we have here called Motel Gita. And you might have noticed, has anybody ever here stayed in a motel or a hotel? Does anybody here own a hotel or motel? Thank you. About 70% of the motels and hotels that are owned and run in America are run by Indian Americans. Is that a fact? Yes. So nowadays, you might notice if you go into a motel or hotel, you'll see a, what, in the drawer? Gideon's Bible. And now what might you see, Vrindavan?
A Bhagavad Gita.
That is correct. Because Motel Gita now is systematically going all around the country and placing Bhagavad Gitas in each one of the motel and hotel rooms. And to date, Dilip Bhai, who's helping to head up this project, how many Bhagavad Gitas have we placed so far? 200,000 Bhagavad Gitas. So, the theme of today is help one of these projects. Pick a project, do something to help, and then you can increase from there. Would you like to say something? The PowerPoint is coming on. Okay, you say something.
We'd like devotees to focus on this PowerPoint. Those who are here, you can see it up there. So this will give you an idea that what kind of offerings that you can offer to the Lord on this very auspicious day of Krishna Janmastami. It's a time of giving, and after this 8:30 we will go into very nice, beautiful ceremony of bathing the Lordship. And this is one of the offering. You can pick up one of this.
How many people here have birthdays? Raise your hand. How many of you have birthdays? Go ahead. It means some of you don't? How does it feel when you get a present of your birthday? Hey, pretty nice, eh? So this is the day that we give presents to Krishna on his birthday. Got it? And he becomes really happy with you. But he's playing with the full deck of cards. He can give anything in return. Something to think about. Hare Krishna.
So here is Krishna's birthday wish list. So you can pick one of this fruit. There are different varieties of the offering that you can make to the Lordship. You can pick the fruit, and once you pick the fruit, you will get these jewels. And one of our devotees, Vaisesika Prabhu and Maharaj, they will pass out the jewels to you when you pledge for one of the fruit. And what are these fruits? It will give you an idea from this slideshow. So let's begin with the slideshow. Can we get the lights dim, please? From now. I mean, you will take on from here. Is there a music? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Maybe we can start just the.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Kartal, play Kartal. Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So, as you see on the slideshow, there are different offerings of artis, different offerings of paraphernalia for the Lordship. So you could offer those today on this very auspicious day of Janmastami, and I will have Damodar Prabhu walk us through more on this.
Thank you so much, Hanspriya Mataji. Let's chant one round of Hare Krishna mantra today to invoke the benedictions. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'd like to invite all of you today to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. We moved in this center around 18 months back, and we have done a lot of renovations. We have added a lot of facilities for all our guests, and we are thankful to our donors for which we have been able to set up festival where thousands of people are coming. So these are the list of items which we thought we will put together for Krishna's gift. You know, if you are looking at going on to a birthday party, these are the things we felt we need in the temple for next 1 year. So please have a look at it. Prabhu, can we go to the Google document now? So the concept, as Vaisesika Prabhu already talked about, you can actually pick up one of the fruits from here, and then you can get a benediction from the jewels which are below. So these are the list of items which we had. Say for example, Mangla Bhoga offering, Shingar Bhoga offering. So these are the sponsorship amount which we have. We like to thank the donors. So I'll start. Mangla Bhog was sponsored by Nilima Agarwal Mataji. Can give. And Mangla Aarti offering was sponsored by our dear Dilip Bhai Prabhu. Shingar Aarti was sponsored by Shraddha Mataji. Is there someone who would like to sponsor for Shingar Bhoga? That's like $1,008, which is still not sponsored. And you can take part of it or whole of the amount. Okay, we have Prabhu here. He is going to get tile in $1 million wall. Let's give him a big Haribol. So this is a fruit, and then Prabhu gets an opportunity to pick a benediction from the root of the tree, and Prabhu will pick up one and tell us what Krishna has blessed him today.
May you attain all good fortune by performing pure devotional service.
Haribol! So this is a fruit. What you can do, Prabhu, is you will later go to the pujaris. They will offer on your behalf to the deities, and you will get that as a benediction. So anybody who would like to sponsor and get the fruit of benediction from Krishna, we can take the donation, and any amount is good. You need not give the full amount. Even if you want to give a partial amount, that is fine. Right now, as I was walking, I got a $2,700 check for the deity dress today from Narayan Prabhu. Let's give him a big Haribol. So if you look, today we have anybody here in the audience who would like to take care of any of these fruits, please let us know. Anybody in the audience, part or full of it. And even if you feel later you can come up, this desire tree will be there. Prabhu, how do we actually, shall we ask them now, or shall we ask them to see us as we are looking at? Okay, it's up to you. So any devotee, guest coming in who feel inspired, there's still a lot of services which needs to be there. I'll just go through. Rajbhog offering, we said, come down, Prabhu. There's a midnight aarti. We have 2 donors already, 1008 and 501. So you can sponsor the midnight aarti. Then there is a prasad for 5,000 devotees. That is open. So anybody who want to sponsor part of it, you can please come and take the fruit. And there are 3 desire trees outside, and you can help yourselves on that. There is a lot of kalash and other things also, like $1 million wall and all. Please come forward and help us. Without your support, I think it is very difficult for us to have such festivals. So every donation which you do goes long way. Thank you so much for all your help. We can keep it here. Very good. So see us, we will be there in the booths. So Ram Sundar Prabhu, myself, Hans Priya Mataji, or the volunteers are around in case you want to get some fruits from the desire tree. Is that fine, Vaisesika Prabhu? Yeah? And then all the donors who have done for Kalash, so today we have around 25 to 40, I think around 35 donors for Kalash. We request you to please assemble in the Kalash counter, so you can collect your Kalash and come here. The Abhishek will start.
What is the Kalash program?
Wonderful. So Kalash, these are like very beautiful pots of silver and gold. She is showing one of it behind. And then this will be actually, you get an opportunity to get the liquid which will filled in that, hand it to the pujari in the shank, and the pujari will actually bathe the Lord. The pujari will bathe the Lord on your behalf. I mean, it is said that when you help in the Abhishekam of the Lord, you get lot of credits, eternal credits. So basically this is one of the very, very auspicious activity, and we have opening it up, that service, to all of you. There are 2 services on that. One is 501, another is 251, and you can sponsor any of those Kalash, and you will get lot of gifts with us. This is like the deity dress of ISV. You will get that as a free gift. Also, you will get an opportunity to spray the Lord with a very fine Gangajal rose water perfume. So as you see, this center is getting staged, and you will get the opportunity to bathe the Lord with those also. So those are the Kalash program, Prabhuji. Anybody who is feeling they should be, they have not sponsored for Kalash, we will be behind, we will be outside, and then we can take your Kalash orders. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
So we're counting down the minutes until the Abhishekam, which you can see the pujaris are just setting up to bathe the Lord. This is our tradition in the Shastras to bathe the Lord on his birthday. And then we're going to, after that, be counting down the minutes until the midnight artik. We welcome you back to ISV. If you're coming back and if it's your first time, we're very happy to have you here. Now we're going to have some more kirtan led by Satyadev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go pick a key. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. still working. It's working. Just got turned off. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
The Abhishek is just beginning, so you might want to turn your attention right towards the altar.